Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. in New Zealand on Sunday, and today we're going to be doing a special live session all about the working holiday visa in New Zealand because, yes, the working holiday visa is reopening literally on Monday. So, in about 24 hours, at 10 a.m. New Zealand time on Monday. So, in actually 26 hours from now, from the time that we are live right now, people on a working holiday visa in New Zealand can start applying and start coming to New Zealand, which is really exciting. So welcome on board. We are the team behind NZ Pocket Guide. Laura, quick introduction. Who are we? Why are we talking about traveling in New Zealand?
So this is Robin, and I'm Laura, and we're
way too excited today.
We are very excited about the working holiday visa schemes opening, but we are the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide. It's 100% free for you guys to check out, and it has thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip to New Zealand. But of course, if you're not really into reading, this is what this NZ Travel Show is all about. You guys can come onto the live chat and ask your New Zealand travel questions directly to the experts and get your questions answered. But if you do miss the live show, you can always put your questions in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos, and we will either reply straight away or pull those questions together to answer in the following live show. So
yeah, we're pretty good at responding to comments, actually. We respond to pretty much all comments, except when you are insulting either Laura and I, and then at that point I have to block you from the channel, so that's not fun.
Let that be a warn.
Yeah, something fun though, something really fun. We are starting at 12 likes on the video. That's probably the highest amount of likes we've ever started a video with, so thank you very much to all 12 of you that have decided to click the like button. That's really awesome. Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing today is that we're going to be talking a lot about the working holiday visa and that latest news, but if you don't know which news we're talking about, let's get started with that right now. Okay, so Laura, no, wait. Go, Laura.
Alright, so we're getting straight onto the
news, yes.
Onto the news, yeah? You don't want to do the intro, or no?
Oh yeah, that's true. Welcome to New Zealand Travel News, the segment where we go over the news that people looking to travel to or around New Zealand may care about. We are the team behind New Zealand's largest travel guide, NZPocketGuide.com. My name is Robin, and this is Laura.
Alright, so starting with our news, it is all about the working holiday visa today. So, from the 14th of March 2022, the working holiday visa schemes will reopen applications on a rolling basis. At 10 a.m. New Zealand time on the 14th of March, the following working holiday schemes will open for applications. So that's Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, United Kingdom, the USA, and Japan. There is no limit on the number of working holiday visas granted to people from these countries, so applications can be made at any time. All others will be open on a rolling basis, so here are the current planned opening dates and number of places available for each country.
Alright, so first up is going to be Malaysia on the 16th of March 2022, and there is 1,150 spots available. The next working holiday to open is going to be Portugal, and that's going to be on the 17th of March 2022, and there is 50 spots available. Then we're having Mexico, on the 22nd of March 2022 with 200 spots available. Then we're having Estonia on the 30th of March 2022 with 100 spots available. Then we're having the Philippines on the 31st of March 2022 with 100 spots available. Then we're having Hong Kong on the 4th of April 2022 with 400 spots available. Then we're having Slovenia on the 7th of April 2022 with 100 spots available. Hungary on the 20th of April 2022 with 100 spots available. Spain on the 21st of April 2022 with 200 spots available. I'm going to stop saying 2022, by the way, it's always 2022. Slovakia on the 3rd of May, that's going to be 100 spots available. Austria on the 4th of May, 100 spots available. Luxembourg, 10th of May, 50 spots available. Poland, 11th of May, 100 spots available. Korea on the 17th of May, and there's 3,000 spots available for Koreans. Latvia on the 24th of May with 100 spots available. Czech Republic on the 31st of May with 1,200 spots available. Israel on the 7th of June, 200 spots available. Singapore on the 14th of June, 200 spots available. Taiwan on the 23rd of June, 600 spots available. China on the 30th of June, 1,000 spots available. Malta on the 6th of July, 50 spots available. Lithuania on the 7th of July, 100 spots available. Thailand on the 14th of July, 100 spots available. Turkey on the 21st of July, 100 spots available. Vietnam on the 4th of August, 100 spots available. Croatia on the 10th of August, 100 spots available. Peru on the 11th of August, 100 spots available. Brazil on the 18th of August, 300 spots available. Argentina on the 13th of August, 1,000 spots available. Chile on the 6th of September, 940 spots available. And last on the list, Uruguay on the 13th of September, 200 spots available.
Woo.
All right.
Well done, Robin. Okay, now we're going to talk about the eligibility and the criteria for the working holiday visas, just to give you more information of what exactly the working holiday visas are. So, the working holiday visas are available to young people, usually aged between 18 to 30 years old, but 18 to 35 years old in a select few countries. They let you travel and work in New Zealand for up to 12 months, or up to 23 months if you're from the UK or Canada. And if you apply for a 23-month visa, then you must provide a general medical certificate. The employment conditions are as follows. You cannot accept a permanent job while on a New Zealand working holiday visa. Employment conditions vary between countries. And check the details for your country's working holiday visa scheme on the immigration website, which is immigration.govt.nz. For studying and training courses, with your working holiday visa, you can study one or more courses for up to 6 months in New Zealand. For example, you can study English for up to 6 months in New Zealand. And other conditions are you need to have enough money to pay for a return ticket, and you also need to be coming mainly to holiday with both work and or short-term study, your secondary intention.
All right, so now is the best time to start planning your trip to New Zealand. And on nzpocketguide.com, we do have a lot of free information for you to be able to start that process. So we have information about specific visa conditions, including what is the right amount of money, for example, for your return flight, as Laura was just mentioning. So what is enough money? We clarify all that for you on nzpocketguide.com. We also have information on how to apply for the visa, how to organize your first few days of your trip, traveling information. We have also tips about how to find a job, how to apply for your tax number, how to open your bank account, how to get a phone number. We also have full guides on buying a car or a camper van. We also have guides on like the best spot to spend time in, job tips, and obviously all your general travel tips as well. Everything is 100% free on nzpocketguide.com, so maybe check it out. Okay, so that wraps up this new segment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all our videos and also to reward all our hard work. Plus, check out nzpocketguide.com for thousands of tips as mentioned, hidden gems as mentioned, and much more. All right, let's go back to the live chat. What are we having today? Are you guys excited about the working holiday visa? By the way, we do have a poll right now, which is kind of a cheeky one. It's like, how would you call someone which is coming in New Zealand on a working holiday visa? There's a lot of different denominations, a lot of different ways people call
people on a working holiday.
People on the working holiday. So we have options for you: working holiday maker, backpacker, people on their OE, so that's overseas experience. They say that a lot in New Zealand.
Or overseas exchange. I'm
Overseas
not
exchange,
actually 100% sure what that stands for, but yeah.
And then people on their gap year. So what's the denomination you like the most? Okay, so who do we have on the live chat right now? We have Violet, Tamo. Oh yeah, I need to get back to the live chat. You're right, Laura. Yep. Violet, Tamo, Anthony, Adil, Christina, Nathan. There's a lot of people. So we're going to get started with the first question we received today, which was from Ian, the bus driver, and that was pertaining to the My Vaccine Pass. So if you guys don't know, there is a little card that we use in New Zealand to scan a QR code and to show that we have had our vaccines. And it's called the My Vaccine Pass. And Ian is planning to come to travel to New Zealand, and he's asking if he does need one and if he can get one even himself.
So currently the process for My Vaccine Pass is set up for locals because you need a local NHI number, which is like your local sort of health number in New Zealand. So in order for people overseas to get it, there isn't really a process for that to happen. If it becomes something that people from overseas need to get, then we will certainly make sure you guys are the first to know on this channel. We're always looking for the latest news, and we're always one of the first to share that here on this channel. So hey, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any videos. If that becomes a thing that you guys need to do, then we will certainly let you know. But as it stands right now, it's just set up for locals.
All right, so we have Violet Zulu, which is all the way from South Africa, and she says she's waiting patiently. So here you are. You came really early, Violet.
You must have been very patient.
Half an hour early. I love it. Tamo was here as well, about half an hour early. Tamo is one of our lovely Patreon, choosing to support our work with a little donation every month. That's awesome. Plenty of extra perks. We'll talk about that later. Anthony Comstock, another one of our awesome Patreon, with an amazing array of emojis today. I love it. And he says Morena from Rodeo, California. What does Morena means, Laura?
Morena means good morning in the local language.
Adil says kia ora, Robin and Laura. Morena from snowy Ottawa, says Christina Holden. Nathan says kia ora, good morning, Laura and Robin.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Nathan? Nathan is a local from Taupo. Orson says, finally, victory!
Victory!
Victory! It's really exciting that people on the working holiday visa can come to New Zealand. We have had major work shortage, labor shortage in the country. So finally, we're actually going to be able to plug those gaps in our economy with working holiday makers, and also means that a good influx of fun people to hang out with, which I love as well.
Yes.
Here you go. Helen Wilkinson, what is she saying?
She says, good evening, Robin and Laura from England.
How is it going for you in England, Helen? English people can get a working holiday for 23 months. That's pretty good.
They can indeed, as long as they provide a general medical certificate.
Exactly. And you did that, actually. You did 23 months. Yeah.
Yes, I actually extended my working holiday visa once I arrived, because that's also another option if you are from... actually, there are ways to extend your working holiday visa. If you only just get the one year, if you're from the UK or Canada, you can extend for a total of 23 months. But if you're from another country, then you can extend for a further 3 months if you meet some certain conditions, which is mainly about doing horticulture work in New Zealand. Yeah. But you can read all about that on our website.
Make sure to put your question regarding working holiday visa and backpacking in the live chat right now. We're here to answer all that. We want to dedicate this entire hour to that because that's really the amazing big news of the week for sure. All right, Baby Burn says, hola amigos, ¿cómo estás? Bueno, and you?
Bueno, amigo.
And Baby Burn says, when is Indonesia getting a working holiday visa, guys? So there is only a selected amount of countries that can get a working holiday visa in New Zealand. So, for example, France, the UK, Japan, USA, they can get a working holiday visa. But there are some countries that are not eligible if they're not on the list. So there's about 42 countries which are on the list. And sadly, countries such as Indonesia, what else is asked often? India, sadly, it's not available as well. So it's bilateral agreements between the New Zealand government and the government of those countries. And so it's not in place just yet. So sadly, when is the working holiday visa for Indonesia available? It's anyone's guess, but it's nowhere anytime soon for sure because they're not opening new working holiday visa scheme at the moment.
We have I think Helen was next, saying, has there been any update on stage 4? So currently stage 4 is still set for by July 2022. That date hasn't changed, but it is it has been forecast for it to change. We just don't know when it is going to change. So yeah, as I've already said, we will let you guys know as soon as that date does change.
But the one update that we have had is that self-isolation is now waived for all travelers. So that means that at least when you come on stage 4, you won't have to self-isolate when coming in the country. So at least there's been one good news for you, Helen. We have somebody with a lovely Arabic name, which sadly I can't pronounce, but he or she is saying hi. So hi. Thank you very much for saying hi. And yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead. Clay, one of our lovely Patreon supporter, says, good morning all. Hi and bye. I have to work. Catch you next week. Clay is located in Dunedin in New Zealand. It's Sunday right now. Why are you working? That's only people like us that works.
He's an emergency plumber, you know.
Emergency plumbing. Okay, Ramez Hussein says, hola.
Hola.
Joey Harb, another one of our Patreon. What is he saying?
Good day.
Good day. That's the way to say hi in the land of Oz.
Yeah.
What is Baby Burn saying?
Does foreign travellers already free of quarantine, or will we need to wait until October? So people currently that are eligible to come into New Zealand are free from quarantine, yes, unless they haven't been vaccinated. So, yeah.
Hamza, that's the name of the person that said hi.
Okay.
Hamza, yeah, now I can pronounce it. Hamza. Yeah, no, I have no chance in coming up with Hamza, but that's a cool name. I like Hamza. All right, we have Sander de Vries that says, hey guys, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, he say, I have been checking the immigration website for the last week at least twice a day and was so happy to see I can apply for the working holiday visa on Monday. Yeah, that's really cool. So where are you from, Sander? Are you part of the list of countries which have no quota and therefore are able to apply on Monday, or do you have to wait a little bit longer? So yeah, but yeah, that's really exciting. If you have any questions about starting this process for you, that's obviously what we're here to do all the time. So go ahead, ask your questions. Talmo says, Robin, your clothing is part of the green screen at the moment. Yeah, I did notice that. Also, when I was doing the news, I could see that the pink was going there. Yeah, so it's just a fashion statement. So if you guys don't know, we're using green screen in order to display a lot of really fun photos right here. And here is the most important frame right here. That's our Patreon subscribers. They have their selfies right here. But yeah, so we're using green screen. And this jumper that I'm wearing right now is lines with green. and to be fair, the writing on this t-shirt as well is like
oh yeah.
So it's all green, and so therefore it just shows the whites in the background. It's a fashion faux pas that I will try not to do again. Apologies everybody, apologies. What is Anthony Comstock saying?
Anthony says, if I wanted to change my membership on Patreon to add more money, how do I go about doing that? And by the way, should I get us started on the gas prices?
All right, so let's just start with
Patreon.
With the Patreon. Okay, with the Patreon. You know what? I will tell you a little bit about the Patreons. How do you do that? You do this and that. Boom. Hey. Boom. You see, I'm half. You see, now it's black and now it's colorful. Here you go. All right, guys, if you feel like supporting us on Patreon, supporting all our hard work, you can join us on the platform. You're going to get a lot of extra perks for yourself. You get an extra 1 hour live session every single week in which we talk even longer about traveling in New Zealand. We can be a little bit more free in the thing that we can talk about because, well, it's not a public live session. You also get your name right below and also up top when, we are waiting to get live. You get plenty extra perks like access to a secret Facebook group in which we hang out lots. We also have created some PDF guides exclusively for Patreon subscribers, which is pretty cool. And we also have like kind of a help for you guys to plan your trip, which is quite nice. And plenty of the you get your face right here when we're not talking about Patreon all the time. Anyway, we have a bunch of really awesome people. We only have 10 Patreons right now, and they're all really, really nice. We have Fabio, Tamo, Beverly, Clay. We also have Joey. We have David. We have did I forget Beverly? No, we have Anthony. And of course, we do have Natasha and Jaro. So here you go. And Hidden Hammock, I forgot. I cannot remember because that's not a name. But Hidden Hammock, we also have a Hidden Hammock here. Anyway, if you want to join us, go ahead. Now, if you want to change your subscription on Patreon, you can go literally on the Patreon platform. And then when you go on our page, you can change your tier, like membership tier, and you can go higher or lower, and you can change and cancel anytime. So just go on your Patreon platform, just log in into Patreon, and you'll be able to do that when you go on our page. All right. Thank you, Anthony, for considering doing that, though. I really appreciate it. That's really nice. And Laura does too. What is Joe Joseph saying?
Joseph must be higher up the list.
Here.
No?
Where the mice is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hello, guys.
That is easy. Hello. Okay, Orkun says, how long do you think will the visa processing take? So working holiday visas usually are actually really quick to process. I know I got mine when I came to New Zealand many moons ago when the youngness was happening, and I literally got it in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
So the process is usually quite fast. They usually say if it hasn't happened in 2 weeks, you need to contact them and they will kind of look into it. So they usually give themselves 2 weeks, but sometimes matters of hours or days, and that goes really fast to get the visa itself. Now once you get a working holiday visa, it's valid for 12 months. And so here's how it works. You get your visa, then you have 12 months or 6 months or 23 months, whatever you applied for. You have that period of time to enter New Zealand. So you will have 12 months to enter New Zealand. Once you enter New Zealand from that entry date, let's say 12 months, it kicks in and you have your 12 months. So you don't have to try to apply and then rush and come to New Zealand. So you have 12 months to enter the country and then you have 12 months to experience the country. So that's basically how it works, to make it really clear. But again, you get plenty of explanation on NZ Pocket Guide, and we also have some extra videos on this channel when we cover a lot about the working holiday visa.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Raf.
Raf says, do you think New Zealand will be overrun after years without travellers?
I don't think so. I think there's still quite a lot of steps to jump through with all the COVID restrictions and all this. A lot of people have not been able to save as much due to COVID, and a lot of businesses in New Zealand are still with low staffs. So I think that there's going to be a good influx of people coming, which is going to be very welcome. But I don't think it's going to be overrun.
Yeah,
it's obviously just a personal opinion. But
yeah, I think it's probably going to be quite steady, the amount of people coming, because also, the borders are starting to open more towards sort of the colder months in New Zealand, which is generally the less busy season anyway. So definitely for the rest of 2022, I still think it's going to be quite quiet, and this is still my opinion. But yeah, it's going to be quite quiet for the rest of 2022, and then maybe as we get into summer next year, perhaps that's when things will start to pick up again. But yeah, it also depends on how many restrictions there's going to be, how many, like if you need to do COVID tests, for instance, that's always a barrier for people. So yeah, we'll see.
And to give you some understanding of numbers, right? We are about 5 million people living in New Zealand. At the highest peak of tourism in New Zealand, we had 4 million tourists in a year, right? So and that including people that just come to New Zealand for business meetings from Australia and then back and forth, like every type of travelers, from the person on the working holiday to the person coming just for a conference meeting or something like that, right? And so that was 4 million. So that we're not going to reach those numbers nowhere near for quite a while. Also, right now we're talking about reopening of working holiday scheme, right? And at the height in New Zealand, we had 50,000 working holiday makers or backpackers or people on an OE or people on their gap year. You vote in the poll right now. Here you go. That's a segue. Anyway, check the poll in a live chat. But yeah, so we only have about 50,000 working holiday makers. So it's not a crazy amount. All right. So French fried potatoes. I mean, I have to say, this is a really good nickname. I think we're getting an award of the best nickname right here. French fried potato. Every week, I give an award to a person that actually has the best nickname. French fried potato. You take it this week. Do you think working holiday visa age criteria will be altered to make up for the people who have turned 31 in the past 2 years? That's a really good question. We thought about it for quite a long time. Let's be honest. If they haven't announced it yet, while they are announcing the opening of the working holiday visa, I don't think it's happening.
No.
It's the same thing we were asked quite a lot, like, will people that did apply and couldn't get to New Zealand, I think will get another chance? It hasn't been announced while they were announcing the reopening of the scheme. So therefore, I genuinely think that those people will have to miss out.
Yeah.
And I think it's really sad. I am not happy about it, but I don't see... what would they just reverse that in 3 months? They're going to say, well, we changed our mind, we're going to... It would be very unlikely. I'm not closing the door because we don't know, we don't have the information, but it would be very unlikely.
Already on the Immigration New Zealand statement, they already said it's still for people aged 18 to 30 or from very select few countries 18 to 35. So by them actually stating that as a reminder of what the working holiday visa is, it kind of feels like they are quite rigid in those conditions and they aren't making any leeways for people that might have missed out in the last couple of years.
All right, so award winner of the day, French fried potatoes. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have any follow-up, good nuts in the live chat right now. People ask questions.
Hopefully the award will cheer you up for our answer, which probably doesn't make you feel so great.
I know, at least, like, here's the bad news, but here's a fake award that means nothing. Yeah. All right, so Joe Joseph says, when can Africans travel to New Zealand? So if your country requires a visa to come and travel to New Zealand, then?
Yes, so for basically everyone, if your country requires a visa, that is on stage 5 in opening up in October 2022. But if you're from a visitor waiver country, then that is...
so visitor waiver country, visa waiver country, visa waiver country. Here you go. Visa waiver countries are countries that don't require a visa in order to come to visit, travel as a holiday in New Zealand. So there is a lot of countries that just, you can come to New Zealand for a holiday without applying for visas. And so those countries can come to New Zealand
by July 2022, so that's stage 4 of the border opening process.
And if your country requires a visa to come to New Zealand on a visitor visa, then that would be in stage 5.
October 2022.
There you go. So just to make it really clean and clear, just so we have an a very informative live session right here.
Yeah.
Okay, Sander says, from the Netherlands, can I apply on Monday or 10 p.m. on Sunday here in the Netherlands? So from the Netherlands, yes, you are on the list, I think. That was correct?
Yes, the Netherlands is from the 14th of March, 10 a.m. New Zealand time. All right.
So literally right now, it is 8:23. So in 25 hours and 37 minutes, you should be able to go on Immigration New Zealand website and apply. By the time I'm saying this right now, 25 hours and 37 minutes. Term and conditions apply. Most of the term and conditions are, if Robin's math are correct. But yeah, so basically, yes, you should be able to apply for your visa, Sander, which is really exciting. Okay, Hamza is saying something.
May I know which month the border will open for all types of visas? So for all types of visas, that is October 2022.
Sam Smith. Yep. Sam Smith has been a long time.
Yeah, Sam Smith says, hello, awesome experts. Sam from Sydney here. South Island holiday booked for November. Bring it on.
Nice.
Of course, we'll be referring to NZ Pocket Guide for travel tips. Cool. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, on one of our Patreon subscribers, Joey, he's also planning a trip, not in November, but in December with his family in the South Island. So we are working on an itinerary with him on Patreon, and we have a secret Facebook group for Patreon for people that support us on Patreon. And so yeah, a lot of people start booking their holiday now, which is really exciting.
That is exciting.
I love it. I love when people start coming to me with dates. It's happened now. It has been 2 years.
Now we have the transition, guys, where maybe we can slowly phase out talking about border openings and we can start talking about traveling in New Zealand again and actually helping you guys organize your trips. Yeah. So that is exciting too.
Speaking of one of the guys, Joey, that's literally the person I was talking about. Joey Harp says, what I miss, I had to figure out how to get home, was out all night. Okay.
Ooh, party.
Well, what you're missing is sleep. Yeah. I suggest you sleep. What did you miss? Well, basically, working holiday visas are available again in New Zealand, so that's what we've been talking about pretty much for the whole last 25 minutes.
This is our working holiday visa special
extravaganza. It's reopening. Woo whoop.
Yes.
Nikuma Isaac says, Hello. How are you doing, Isaac?
Charlie says, hi guys, in caps. What is your favourite place in New Zealand to go on holiday?
Ooh, well, it changes a lot, I have to be honest. It changes quite a ton. But do you want to pick one right now or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to pick one now. I'm going to pick the Catlins. Have I picked that one recently?
No, I don't think so.
The Catlins is one of my favourite places to travel to in New Zealand. It's on the South Island and it's towards the southern part of the South Island, or it actually is one of the southernmost parts of the South Island. And what I really love about the Catlins is that most of the stuff that you get to see, it's all beautiful natural wonders that you get to see for free. It's not really much about the sort of, big sort of tourist activities or anything. It's just like every 20 minutes down the road, you see something amazing. You might see an amazing waterfall. You might see some sea lions on the beach or some penguins, some fossilized forests on the coast. Just like there's all sorts of natural wonders to check out. And it's one of the lesser visited parts of the South Island. So yeah, that's where I would suggest to go on holiday this week.
I would pick Nelson. I would pick Nelson Motueka area just because it's the gateway to the beautiful Abel Tasman National Park. And right now we are basically transitioning right now between summer and autumn. And so we start going to get the colder weather, and we're going to start getting a lot of rain. And this is the region that usually traditionally has the most sun hours and not as much rain. And so it would be kind of like where I would go on a holiday, because usually you go and you seek a different kind of weather. And the Abel Tasman National Park, between the amazing hike, the fantastic canyoning, the epic kayaking that you can do over there, and the absolutely mind-blowing hidden gems all around, such as the Remutaka Resurgence and the Pupu Springs, is actually a fantastic place to visit. So this is where I will be going on a holiday right now. Obviously, Charlie, if you ask me next week, I will answer something different. I think that's what we said last week.
Yeah, and I was going to say Nathan's comment is next, which is very similar. What are some of the highlights from the South Island? And he asked us last week what our favourite places in the South Island was. So we are changing our answer every week, but that's because we don't really
There's just so much on offer.
I know, there's so much to do. There isn't really a standard favourite because it's hard to pick a favourite, basically.
By the way, YouTube is telling me to remind your viewers to hit like and subscribe. That's what it says. So remind you guys, please do it. That'd be nice. Algorithm, robots will be happy. Yay! In the meantime, we're happy when you chat with us. That's when we're the happiest. But but 22 viewers, 22 like. I think that's pleasing as a number.
It is. It is very pleasing.
I like that.
It would be more pleasing if there was 23.
Oh yeah, no, neither is 23. The numbers are. Okay, so Nathan, let's say we answered your question by answering Charlie's question. It's not that we don't love you, but we literally just say so. That would be the Cathlins and the Nelson and Albert Tasman National Park
But ask
area.
us again next week and we'll give you another answer, we promise.
Nathan is like taking notes right now. He's like, no, you said it. How dare you? Yeah. You said it already.
French Fried Potato is saying thanks, I guess, for
having
the award.
Yeah.
And I was already fearing that. Thanks for the answer, though, and the award. You're very welcome, French Fried Potato.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's obviously not an answer. I hope that you understand. It's not an answer that we're happy to give you. It's just it's just what our gut is telling us.
On the other hand, the visitor visas or being a visitor in New Zealand is usually for, depending on which country you're from, it's usually 3 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still a substantial amount of time if you can come for just visiting for 3 months. There's always that to consider. David says, heyo, excited about the new news. I've been applying from Canada, just wondering the processing times for the working holiday visas. I'm planning to get there as soon as possible.
So traditionally, the working holiday visa gets processed really, really quickly. So we mentioned that a little bit earlier in the video, so in this live session. So you may want to rewind and see us talk about that a little bit more. But in short, I got mine in a matter of about 24 hours, about 12 or 13 years ago when I applied, and Laura got hers really quickly. We got a lot of reports of people getting it within about 2, 3, 4 days. And Immigration New Zealand usually says if you haven't received it in 2 weeks, contact us because something went wrong. So it's kind of it's a visa which is very streamlined, very easy to apply for. And if I can give you a tip, and I know it's a plug, but it's not really a plug because it's all free, you can head to nzpocketguide.com. There is a link in the description of this video, and on there we do have all the plenty of tips for you to apply for the working holiday visa. We literally have a guide on how to apply. We also have guides on like how to plan your trip, from 2 months before your trip to when you're traveling, which probably won't apply to you because you're probably going to want to have a window of a week, it looks like, with your comment. But we also have tips on how to find a job, how to create your New Zealand style CV, get your phone number, open your bank account, get a tax number in New Zealand. We have everything all sorted for you on the website. So now is the time to head to the website and start planning. Actually what I'll do quickly, I will show you the site just to show you where to find all that. And I show you the site, but I can't see it myself. So give me a second. Okay, so this is nzpocketguide.com right here. It's entirely free for you to use. And so there is obviously plenty of tips when you look at prepare your trip. You have, your packing list.
I don't think it's up yet, Robin.
Oh, no, it's not. Here you go. Boom. This is NZ Pocket Guide. That's the site. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Okay, right here. I haven't just said that in a second ago. That's okay. Okay, under travel tips, we do have like all the plenty of tips on what to pack and packing list and everything for you. We also have plenty of tips under travel tips and then transportation on how to buy a car or a camper van if you're planning on doing that for your trip in New Zealand. Look at that green screen on my... it looks pretty neat. Okay, but we also have everything about traveling by bus or renting a car and everything. Plenty of travel advice with how to budget. Especially on budget, we have how to budget for a working holiday visa in New Zealand. We do have a full article on how to budget for it, how much money you need, and what are things going to cost. That's quite important. Under essential, we have all about cell phone and internet, how to get like a cell phone SIM card, which one to choose. We also have like banking and taxes, so all about the banks to apply for your IID number, which is the tax number in New Zealand. Everything is right here. Your medical and travel insurance, which is also a condition of your working holiday visa, and also how to get a New Zealand driver license, which will make it easier for you to go to a bar and everything. So we have everything right here under travel tips. Under working in New Zealand, we have a working holiday visa full section right here. I'll get to that in a second. But we also have job search tips, popular backpacker job, work tips and essentials. So we have all of those things added ready for you, and even working for accommodation. And if you're looking for a job itself, you can literally click on job listing and start applying for jobs right now if you want to. Now, if you go on working holiday visa, right now we're going to close the ads. So again, a lot of information right here for you. It's going to load, like we're doing a live session right now, so it's a little bit slow, but yeah, everything you need to know about the working holiday visa in New Zealand. That is a great place to start. There's a lot of links that ping you to different places. We even explain you how to extend your working holiday visa if you want. And then we have the application, so the guide part 1, part 2, and part 3 right here. So, and how to get a working holiday visa. So we really have everything at the ready to help you plan a working holiday in New Zealand. So I can't really stress enough how good it will be for you to head to nzpocketguide.com. And again, everything is 100% free. If you ever want to pay us, you're more than welcome to join us on Patreon to reward all our hard work. There's a link below and you get a lot of perks. But aside from that, everything that we do is free. All right. That was for David. What is Kiwi Lauren saying?
Kiwi Lauren says, "Hi guys, I've been listening to travel podcasts on my run lately. What to pack in your under-seat carry-on bag? Dreaming of packing an under-seat carry-on bag again."
I think we do have a video about that as well.
I think we have like a packing video, what to put in your carry-on and what to put in your check-in luggage. So yeah, check that out too. It's quite an early video, so
we look younger.
But yeah, and we also have heaps of articles on nzpocketguide.com, which is complete checklists of what to pack for New Zealand. So yeah, guys, check that out. It's up to date. I updated it recently, so yeah, it's good.
Joe says, "Wow, October! Oh my God! I really want to travel to New Zealand on a work visa. That has always been my dream before the COVID-19 started."
Yeah.
Nice. Well, fingers crossed for you, mate. Fingers crossed things keep going the course, and with a bit of luck, it may even open earlier. They have hinted, the New Zealand government has hinted that they want to open things a little bit earlier. How are we having 28 likes? You guys are awesome. Just so you guys know, the maximum amount of like we've ever got during a live session was 34. Last time we went all the way up to 32, but we never beat 34. So 28, we're getting really close. That's really amazing.
Our dreams will come true today as well, I think.
Is it a dream of yours?
Yeah.
I think it's a dream of the algorithm of YouTube for us to get more likes. But, our dream is to chat with you guys. That's better. Anthony, what is Anthony saying?
Remember, you still have to plan that New Zealand border opening party.
BOP. Yes, so if you guys don't know, we do an extra 1 hour live session with our Patreon, and we've been joking that when the New Zealand borders are more widely open, so we'll do a party to celebrate that, and we decided to do it in
July.
Yeah, in the July opening, so the stage 4, we decided to do it like that. I think that's what we all decided together. But yes, I actually have some on my notepad here. So yeah, I have the latest news, but I also have a lot of pieces of paper, and one of them is actually IDs for the BOP. So here you go. I am not forgetting about the BOP. Hamzad, was it correct? Did I mispronounce it yet again? Hamza, not with a D. Hamza says,
"Really, I'm so excited to visit New Zealand in October. I shall thank you so much, both of you."
It's not I shall thank you. It's inshallah. That means like
Inshallah.
praise
Oh,
God
sorry.
and just say like hopefully that's gonna happen. You know,
Okay,
like,
well, yeah, we hope that will happen for you, Hamza.
that was smooth though. I should thank you. I love it.
Yeah, I
that
just
that
thought-
worked well. Yeah.
A lot of people usually make lots of typos and stuff
Yeah.
when they're messaging us, and I just thought it was one of those.
I
But
know.
I'm just uncultured. That was just the problem.
No, I'm just so impressed. Or like you read that like like not even a typo. So easy. Okay, what is Joey saying?
Joey says, so keen to get back to beautiful New Zealand, showing my family around Queenstown area as much as I can do in 5 days. Then going solo both north and south for 3 to 4 weeks. Undecided on the exact length.
Nice. So yeah, so Laura and I were already chatting about your trip, and we will have I'll have a write-up ready for you at some point next week, and I'll put it in a Facebook group, so you'll have just our thoughts, and I'm happy to talk over that after that on next live session and see what you like, what you don't like, what can we move around, all that. Okay, my favorite of the week: French fried potatoes. What is he saying? Oh, she's saying.
I think
We don't know.
I think you're probably going to disappoint them with your answer again. But how did you guys move to New Zealand permanently? I'm curious.
Oh, well, so sadly, we don't really have the right to kind of talk too much about immigration stuff. So I've actually talked a little bit about it during our Patreon live session, because it's not a public one, but like publicly we can't really talk about it too much. But in short, both Laura and I arrived on the working holiday visa, and then we went through the normal process of applying for some visas, like work visas, and then permanent residency and everything, and partnered residency, blah blah blah. I can't remember which one that was, but yeah. And so we did all that, and now we are permanent resident in New Zealand.
Yeah. Helen says, I have been advised to book my flights from the UK when a confirmed date for stage 4 is officially announced, as not many airlines have announced flights.
That is very sound advice.
Yes, that is very sound advice. It is best to know exactly when you can come to New Zealand.
And also that'd be cheaper for you. What I would like to point out as well is that until you know that a country is reopening, right? As an airline, you don't plan that many flights into there. So right now, there's so little flight going to New Zealand. They charge exorbitant prices. Yes, I use the word exorbitant, which is not a word I use often, but shockingly exorbitant prices. So as soon as we're going to get an opening date, then you're going to get a little bit more competition on the market, and you'll be able to get a flight for cheaper and be able to save up. So you can do one of the many amazing activities displaying behind us. This one here is not an amazing one, but the other one are really awesome. This is better. That's yummy. All right. Cool. Joseph, what is he saying?
Joe Joseph says, October is such a long time, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, but to be fair, planning a trip to New Zealand takes time. And so, it gives you plenty of time to start planning your trip. When we talk about, for example, the working holiday visa in New Zealand, we have an article on like the step-by-step to plan your working holiday visa. And it starts 4 months before your trip. Maybe because we're a little bit over planner, and you're more than welcome to rush through the whole thing and do it like 4 days and 3 days and 2 days. It's fine, but yeah, usually it takes quite a while to get that planned. Fabio is back.
Yes, Oibaf, also known as Fabio.
The original Patreon.
The original Patreon, who told us to get on Patreon.
Yeah, he's the one. He had a big poking stick for about 6
Yeah.
months, poking us to get on Patreon.
And now we love it, so we thank you for that.
Yeah.
Fabio says, hi guys, I'm back.
Ooh, that was a
smiley
voice.
face.
That was a voice and a half.
Yeah, just thought I'd liven up the comments a bit. David says, thanks, I'll definitely take a look at the site. You definitely should.
Yeah.
You work very hard on it. Robert Laliberte says...
Oh my God, that's been such
been
a long
while,
time. Yeah.
He says, I'm back. What did I miss other than Laura got cuter and Robin? Well, not so much. Now updating to New Zealand 2.0 for 2023.
What did I hear? I didn't get cuter. 2 years locked indoors. Really? I didn't get cuter, Robert? How dare you? What do you miss? Well, I feel like you haven't been here for what? About 6 months? I don't know. Like the time frames are a bit fuzzy, but about 6 months you have been here. So yeah, we finally have some more concrete opening dates for New Zealand. It's pretty exciting. And we've made a lot of changes to the live sessions, as you can see, like, comments everywhere, and like everything looks nicer and everything, thanks to our lovely 10 people that are on Patreon supporting us. And we are also announcing today that yes, we were gone for about 3 weeks, and that's because we went to the Cook Islands. And so in the beautiful Cook Islands, we did a lot of research and work to create a travel guide for the Cook Islands. So that's where we went when we were gone. So you're going to see a little bit of content coming about that in next probably few months, and we'll keep you updated with all of that.
And
so,
another update is that we got fiber where we're living right
Yes,
now. So now you
yes.
guys can watch the live session in HD. So that is the big news as well.
Yeah. And Fabio is also jumping on the bandwagon with Robert and saying that, Laura, your hair looks great today.
Oh, well, thank
Can
you.
someone compliment my hair? What is going on
I
right
haven't
here?
had a chance to cut Robin's hair yet, so we have to hide it under a cap. But hopefully by next week, guys, you'll all be saying how cute Robin looks with his new hair.
Thank you. I'm too very pretty. Thank you, people. What is Kalpana saying?
Kalpana says, I have a work permit and I was in lockdown in Fiji and my visa expires on the 5th of August 2022. Can I come on step 3?
So for that very specific case, you will have to contact Immigration New Zealand and inquire about your own visa to see if you still meet the conditions and if your visa is not expired yet. So we won't be able to give you any specific information. You will have to contact Immigration New Zealand for that. The monk is saying, question. Kia ora. I am being interviewed nowadays and I want to know about cheap rent near Parnell CBD. Please guide. Well, we actually do have a guide for you on the site, actually, if I may just say so. Laura, would you like to show it?
Yes. So Robin will show on screen where you can go onto nzpocketguide.com, which is our website. It's the largest travel guide to New Zealand and it's free for you to browse at your own leisure. But if you go onto nzpocketguide.com, head to accommodation.
Yep.
And down to, I think there's long-term
accommodation, yeah. Or weekly accommodation guide.
Accommodation, perhaps. So,
and then North Island.
Yep, and then go to North Island and there'll be an Auckland city centre option and that will be your option for Parnell. And we also have an Auckland region guide as well, but you want to go for the Auckland central option. And there we have a full guide on your different options and different ways to approach finding cheap accommodation for rental in Parnell. So we kind of suggest, like, there's when you're just starting to look for accommodation, once you're there, you can, start off staying in a hostel or an Airbnb with cheap rent for just a week or two. And then once you've found something a bit more long term, we guide you on sort of the general rental prices for the area and what you can expect to pay for rent. So yeah, check out that page on nzpocketguide.com that Robin just showed you, and that should give you some more ideas.
All right, smash that like button if anything we're doing right now is super useful.
Anything at all that we're doing.
Robert says price of gas is skyrocketing in Canada. Reluctant to ask what it is in there. I am getting nostalgic. My favorite childhood memory is my parent paying for my holidays.
Yeah.
Well, we are discussing going close to $4 a liter right now. So we are about $3.25 is what we were at. Not that long ago, 326 is the last time that we refilled, actually. I wrote it down for you because I knew people would talk about it. But we are talking about going close to $4 a liter. So yeah, price of gas, thanks to world events and idiots, is skyrocketing. Fabio is giving us some donation right here. Fabio, you're already on Patreon. Why are you giving us more money?
Yeah, thank you,
It makes
Fabio.
me feel bad. Fabio says, guys, click like. We will make it to 33 likes today.
Come
There
on.
you go. The maximum we've ever had was 34, so we need to do 35 to be epic. But if we want to beat last time, we need to do 33. So all those numbers make sense.
Yes, it's all about the numbers here on YouTube.
Obviously. Joey says, yeah, I'm disappointed. Where is the bloody 4K? What? Okay, 1080 is pretty much as good as it's gonna get, guys. I don't even watch movie in 4K because it hurts my eyes. Okay, now we're having a good series of comments that I'd like Laura to read.
Okay, Fabio says, Robin, your cap is nice today.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me.
And Nathan says, Robin, your hair is good as Laura. French
I
fried
don't know
potato.
if that's a compliment.
French fried potato says your cap looks great, Robin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, so now that we've got all the
My ego has been boosted. I'm happy with
ego
it.
has been nurtured. Now moving on to George Hill saying, I'm coming to New Zealand Jan 2023 for the
Ooh.
working holiday from the UK. Bring it on.
Nice. So are you taking that amount of time because you're saving some money to make this holiday even more epic? Is that what you're doing? Or maybe you're another planner like us and you like to actually do things right and you want to take the good time to actually plan what you want to do.
Or maybe he has a contract at work that he has to finish or something.
Oh, you're so boring.
Could be anything.
Oh, that is so boring.
But let us know. We're just kind of curious over here. We're kind of nosy like that.
Yeah. And yeah, but we also overplanner. If that's because you're overplanning, we also overplanner. That's why we started NZ Pocket Guide as well, right? This is because we like to do all those research and plan all those things. So
and we have it all ready for you on nzpocketguide.com.
Yeah.
If you do want to overplan, then we are the perfect place to go and overplan with.
We are at 34 likes. One more like, and we beat our highest amount of like ever on a live session, like while we're live.
One more like.
I mean, that is pretty good. You could be the person. And if you click like right now, make sure you say it so you take credit for it. So make sure you talk in the comment and you say, I am the one that did that. Because, you need to get credit for what you did.
35, it just happened.
Who was it? Who did that? Who did it?
Cool. Thank you so much, guys. That is our highest amount of likes that we've had during a live session. And it comes at a good time when, the working holiday visas are open. We have dates set up of when the border's going to open for everybody else coming to New Zealand. Things are looking up.
Things are looking
up. It's been a tough couple of years, but things are looking up and people can travel to New Zealand very soon. The monk says, moving on, the monk says, thanks both, great information, keep going good guys, and love from India.
Oh, love from New Zealand, mate. Anthony says, in California, over here, where I live, we are gonna...
We've gone to $5.54.
From $5.54 to $6 a gallon for regular. $6 a gallon, that's still well cheaper than what we are. That's still about half our current price. So, yeah, not bad.
We basically can't afford to go anywhere at the moment.
Good thing we really like hiking.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to walk to all
But what I did is that I went to the pump just before that happened, actually, because I told her I think the prices are going to go quite high. And I went to the pump and I just filled up a 10-litre jerry can of gas. And I'm planning in about 3 months to exchange that for a 4-bedroom house in New Zealand. So that's my retirement plan right here. So that's good.
It was very, very clever, Robin. Joey says 4K hurts your eyes.
Oh, I'm just joking. It's just 4K. 6Ks, 8K, schmake, 1K is fine.
Anthony says, by the way, stay safe, but I'm here till the end. Nathan says, for my South Island trip, I will probably go Abel Tasman and Fiordland National Park.
Oh, very that's nice. Good. That's good choice. Oh, well, I was talking about the Abel Tasman National Park literally today as my favorite thing in the South Island. So, yeah, that's a very, very, very good choice, mate. Fabio says 1 litre of petrol is about $3.41 New Zealand dollars in Austria today. So we are about the same price right now than with Austria. And so do you also have talk that it's going to keep on going higher and higher? So right now in New Zealand, we're talking about that $4 litre of petrol. The monk says 1:20 a.m. right now, still watching you. You're worth it. Love from India. 1:20 a.m.
Wow. Thanks.
Chamomile tea.
Yeah.
Bonnet. Go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah. That is way too late.
We thank you for your dedication to this live session right here. Hopefully, we are giving you plenty of useful information, so it is worth it to stay up till 1:20 a.m. Robert says, further to Helen's question, does Laura still stand by her 49-day window for booking airline tickets?
Oh, things have changed a lot for, with COVID. Laura, do you still stand?
It's so uncertain. I'm so uncertain now. I feel like, because like Helen says, that some airlines haven't even posted their dates of when in the future they're going to certain places. But I'm uncertain whether I still stick by it, to be honest. When we booked our Cook Island tickets, that's actually been quite a nightmare. It was cheaper, but then when you have to keep rebooking tickets when because sometimes restrictions.
38 likes! You guys are nuts! 38 likes!
Guys.
Wow, that is epic.
So I don't think I stick by it quite right now at this time where the airline industry is all over the place. But ask me that in maybe a year's time. We'll review that.
I think Robert, what I'm thinking is the way the airline system are going to be recovered will dictate how our pricing going to be made in the future. I think they have learned a lot during COVID, and also literally we're just talking about prices of gas, right? That is literally the highest expense for airlines. If we're talking at that high price of barrels of gas, they will have to increase their price as well, right? So I think it's going to be quite chaotic in airline pricing for at least next 12 months, if not 24 months, and then it's going to get back to a more understandable pattern after that. So I'll give it 12 to 24 months before we actually can re-understand the pattern and get back to giving you tips and be like, you know what, we can do our research and we can check this and that. Because, for example, I'm going to give you the example of the Cook Islands, right? I checked prices. We didn't really have we were going for work over there. We didn't really have choice of our dates. We were working with a lot of government organization over there and a lot of other. Anyway, we couldn't choose our dates, so we had to pick a flight, right? And the flight that we got on the week was 1,700 New Zealand dollars, and it will have been 570, I think, like the week after, and really. It's complete chaos because a week after, then it was 1,200, and it was just kind of like all over the place, like really fluctuating. So I think, yeah, I don't know if this 49 days is the one. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, we're probably not gonna stick by it for now, but yeah, we'll
so to give context,
about a year.
to give context to people also as well, I feel like we're talking about the 49ers. Like, what are they talking about? Laura's tips for booking the cheapest flight possible is to book about 49 days before your trip. Usually when the flight is at its cheapest, because before it's a little bit more expensive, then it goes cheaper, and then it goes back to more expensive. So usually the cheapest for international flight is 49 days before you fly. That's the context on what we're talking about.
Yeah. Fabio is, helping us have a little bit of perspective on the whole situation right here, saying we are very fine with the price tag on fuel. We will pay even more if it helps Ukraine. It is common sense here.
I agree. That's it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely. Anthony says $6 in American money is $8.81 in New Zealand dollars. He's a live conversion for you guys.
I like it.
Nathan says, I will probably go to the adventure capital in the South Island, which is Queenstown.
Oh, it's kind of a must-do. Everybody goes there for sure.
There's a lot of stuff to do there. Adil says, Robin, there's no need to apologise for your change of top. I think it looks really cool. Also, have you injured your left wrist?
No,
I'm guessing it's the one with your buff on.
No, I'm just wearing a buff because I'm an active kind of guy.
Active live session here, like wiping the sweat from his brow.
You know, after this 1 hour live session, then I'm hosting a 1 hour with a Patreon, right, where we're gonna talk further about all the events and everything like that. So I'm here chatting for about 2 hours. So it's hard work, and so that's
why he needs to wear a cap. Keep the sun off his head while he's doing this live show for you guys.
And also another reason is because I'm wearing a watch, and I've noticed a lot that it blink a lot, like when we do the live session. I just don't like to blind you guys all the time, so I came up with that I could remove the watch, but I came up with that hack as well, so I'll move from one to the other.
So in conclusion, Robin is fine. He is not injured.
I'm a damn fine boy. I say. All right, moving on. We are having Fabio. He says, Anthony, yes, but a gallon is much more than a liter. Yeah, it's 3.56 if I'm correct. So 1 gallon is 3.56 liter. So math happening right now. Let's say 3.26, which is what we're paying right now, times.
You don't have a live calculator for us all.
3.56, no. Here you go. So currently we're paying about $11.60 a gallon here in New Zealand. Yeah. And it will go higher. It will go to, much more than that, pretty much for sure. Kiwi Lauren
says, I know you guys are all about promoting New Zealand travel and tourism, but I'm legitimately curious to know if you find anything overrated. I have loved everything I've done in New Zealand.
What we tend to find overrated, I'll be super candid, and we actually did talk about that quite a fair amount on our two Patreon sessions ago. We talked a lot about like things which are a little bit less positive, and we try to keep everything super positive on the channel. But they strong armed me, and I was like, it's not public, we can do it. But the one thing that I usually find overrated in New Zealand is the food. I don't think that the food is that exceptional, and I think that the food is very much overpriced. I haven't seen any absolutely mind-blowing food experiences in New Zealand, and I've never seen one that really justifies the price that it is. So that's usually where the psyche is for my overrating. And aside from that, Queenstown, but I talk about Queenstown enough. So yeah.
I think what I find overrated is the sort of idea that New Zealand is clean and is 100% pure. New Zealand is the tagline of New Zealand tourism, which kind of, makes has connotations with it being like a very clean, natural, sort of eco-friendly country, which it has a lot of issues. It has a lot of problems that in that way that, for the amount of population and the amount of, CO2 emitted, it's one of the highest in the world. So it's not like it isn't 100% pure New Zealand. That's absolute baloney. But it has. New Zealand is one of the countries where I have seen the most sort of conservation efforts. So they're very into their native wildlife that can't be found anywhere else in the world. And they're very, there is a lot of strong efforts to preserve native wildlife and native flora and fauna. So in that sense, there is a lot of work done there, but in other sense of how, New Zealand impacts the rest of the world with its CO2 emissions and, clean waterways and that sort of thing, it's not so great. Yeah. So that's overrated in that sense.
Yeah, New Zealand energies are not great. I mean, we're burning 250 kgs of dirty coal per year per inhabitant in the country, right? So about half of the energy generation in the country is not renewable, despite what you can see. So
so I hope that was an appropriate answer for you, Kiwi Lauren, and nothing that would make you too depressed.
Let's go back to the positive stuff, and let's keep the negative stuff to hidden content.
Yes.
The monk
says, I'm a civil engineer and being interviewed. Question: when will the borders open for Asians, presuming under lockdown nowadays in New Zealand?
No, so we're not in lockdown nowadays in New Zealand, and there is a plan with stage reopening. So if you're planning the general kind of opening for pretty much everybody is in October. So October 2022, for pretty much everybody, the New Zealand borders will reopen. So here you go. With obviously conditions of being vaccinated and all these kind of things. But yeah, in October, that may be pushed forward, so maybe pushed a little bit earlier, but October. Contact Immigration New Zealand to know your specific case, and with your specific visa and your specific skills, things may change. 39 likes. Oh, we're teetering to the 40.
Wow, it's exciting stuff here.
Yeah. All right. Nathan says, have a great day. See you next week for fun and wicked live stream. Indeed. I really enjoyed this live stream about the working holiday visa. I have to say, I really did enjoy it. If you are joining just right now and you want to know more about this working holiday visa news, let's rewind to the complete beginning of this live session. Just drag that all the way to the beginning, and we start with the big news, and we read all of the information. We give you all the dates. And I make a fool of myself saying the word available about 35 times in a row. Okay. Robert, Charlie says, I can't wait for December. I'm going to Topo. Oh, you're going to have a blast, mate. Topo is awesome. You can hang out with Nathan. Nathan is from Topo. So Charlie and Nathan, you guys should start chatting together. Robert says,
in November 2021, Refining New Zealand confirmed that the Marsden Point refinery was shut down in April 2022. What will be the effect of this?
Yeah, we'll have to import more of it. There is not necessarily super need for New Zealand to actually refine it on land. But yeah, hopefully that's going to make us more reliant on overseas import and therefore more keen to actually not be, and therefore a larger push for more renewable energy. That would be the hope.
Yes.
We'll see what it really is going to be. You know what I mean? Like trying to predict what political decisions are going to amount to. Ooh.
Anthony says,
Dangerous.
Wow, and I thought that was expensive over here.
Yeah.
Fabio,
41 likes! Whoop!
Fabio says, Americans pay way less than the rest of the world for their fuel.
Yeah, that's really famous. That's quite famous. So you guys pay about half what everybody else in the world pays, yeah.
But I think that we should not talk about the reasons of that because that would be a political discussion.
Nope. Well, not talk about this at all. Q Loren says, I totally didn't mean to put you there on the spot. I love New Zealand and I don't find anything overrated. It's awesome, except maybe with the connection, Wi-Fi connection, but I can't...
But I can handle that. Yeah.
I have to say, I don't complain about the internet no more since we have fiber now and everything's like super fast and I'm super happy about it. So no complaint anymore. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're living quite remotely, and the fact that we were able to get fiber now is actually quite good, and that speaks volume for the connection of many remote regions in New Zealand. So that's good. Get more people connected.
Adil says, Robin, when you say the food in New Zealand is overpriced, are you talking about the restaurant food or ingredients?
A little bit of both, though. So New Zealand has seen its highest inflation in pretty much ever this year for food prices in supermarkets and everything. But what I was referring to was mostly like eating out and those kind of foodie experiences and everything. More or less like, yeah, that was all right, that was fine, but was it worth my $250, or was it worth that amount of money? And I'm always kind of like, it was, and that's quite interesting because really often we travel to the South Pacific Islands with Laura, since I don't know if you know, but we run a travel guide for Tonga, Niue, Fiji, and now we have just announced we're going to the Cook Islands. So and very often when we go to the islands, right, the food experiences there are about the same price as New Zealand, but they are way better. Like they're way nicer and way more like put together dishes and things like that. So I just find that it's in comparison, basically in comparison to like other countries, I think that in New Zealand you want to spend money on experiences and experiencing the amazing outdoors, and I feel like you can go a little bit more cheap on the food because it wouldn't be worth for you to go pay that much. And that's only a personal opinion of just me. There are some people that swear by the New Zealand food, and that's absolutely okay.
Kiwi Lauren said, Fabio says both of it, I think, referring to the food. Kiwi Lauren says that was many years ago, so things may have improved since then. Yeah. They probably have improved a little bit in terms of the internet. And Cricket Travel Vlog says, hi, we from Singapore. My wife loves New Zealand, and we have some plans to move to New Zealand if possible in the future.
Oh, well, you're in the right place. That is the right channel to chat with us about. We are all about traveling in New Zealand, so yeah. And it looks like you're into cricket, which New Zealand does love as well, so that should be a good place for you.
Although we're not very good to talk to you about cricket, just so you know. We're not very we're not experts in
we do the travel part of your name, but the cricket you'll have to find somebody else to talk to, because we're really not good at sports.
And finally, Fabio says Gigatown, a censored area. So Gigatown was a thing back in the day where they were trying to like sort of liven up the internet in some of the towns around New Zealand. So that was fun. And then we'll just do a final one. When will that's from Raymond saying, when will available work visas?
October 2022, stage 5 probably. Contact Immigration New Zealand to know more and make sure that you confirm. All right, guys, so I'm going to close the poll right now. And in the meantime, we're going to just quickly recap. So the working holiday visas are starting to open up for New Zealand, starting with those that do not have a cap on amount of people that can come in the country. And that's starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. New Zealand time. So we're going to get started with getting some backpackers, working holiday makers, overseas experience, and gap years. You guys can start coming to New Zealand. If you want to know more, please rewind this video all the way to the beginning when we cover the entire news and we go countries by countries and telling you when you will be able to apply for your working holiday visa. Closing up the poll right now. What do you call somebody on a working holiday visa in New Zealand? The number one answer was a working holiday maker with 42% of the answer. Number two was backpacker with 34% of the answer. And let's be honest, people on the OE and on the gap year get barely any votes, so that doesn't even matter anymore. There's 35 people of you guys that voted. There's 42 people that liked the videos. You guys are absolutely phenomenal.
Woohoo!
We are moving right now to our Patreon live session. If you feel like rewarding our hard work, maybe check the link to our Patreon page below and check out some of the awesome perks you can have. It includes an extra 1 hour live session every single week, which is quite a lot of fun. I actually have a fun game planned for you. Tamo was asking for one. I created a whole new game. All right, Laura, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, guys. See you next week, same time, and 8 a.m. at New Zealand time. And
Yeah. Can I end the stream?
Sorry, I just thought you were trying to show me something on the screen.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
All right, and Patreons, I'm starting the live session literally in about 2 minutes.
Bye.
Bye.